Papi Sanctioned 823, swinging Drake like an ape in a tree.
I'm not gonna say that RX Papi is any bumbling jester, but he's a real funny motherfucker. Take note of how often he lays out grim stories about homicide, paranoia, and self-hatred, and it'd turn any face cold, if not for the fact that it's scattered among piss your pants punchlines and delivered over the beat as on time as a public transport schedule. That last bit is no criticism of mine, however. I believe you gotta pay attention to the beat in at least some way to disobey it so constantly. I thought 2019 was a windy year, but it was actually the collective sound of every whoosh from every smartass that thought Blueface had no rhythm. There's an exciting wave of rappers from Keef to Youngboy who play dodgeball with the drum beat, creating this insane polyphony, and depending on how tolerant you are, you'll either get real sick of it, or you'll get addicted to how off it feels hearing every line finish too early, like Papi's just a split second away from landing on the right bit. Papi's album provides a near-endless stream of saying anything for 16 tracks, the common factor being his expansive list of people who he can walk into this bitch like. He gets the obvious out of the way like Blade, but Ox from the Hype Williams film Belly was a nice shout. He also walks in this bitch like Steve O, like he has crack in his nuts, like fuck the dress code, like a dead man, like God. But near the end of the track Rush Hour, we discover why the track is named that, because in one line he walks into this bitch like John Wayne, and then the next line he says he doesn't know shit about John Wayne, and then in the next line explains that he only said that because in the first Rush Hour, Chris Tucker mentioned John Wayne.
I did a burglary to get Jordan. Every kid in my class had the new Jordan. This shit made me not like Jordan. I got enough money to buy Michael Jordan. He got more rings than Michael Jordan. Bitch, I got more rings than Michael Jordan. I don't miss this shot, I'm Michael Jordan. Walk down and stab you, Michael Myers.
In case he hadn't suspected, 100 Miles and Walkin' is the central downtown of Quotable City, where structurally his verses often do that thing that TJ also does, where multiple lyrics in a row will end with the same word like his own proposed game of Bejeweled, and entire tracks become guessing games of where the fuck the narrative's gonna go next. And no shit, the success rate is close roomies with the number 0. Couplets of his will connect Michael Jordan to Michael Myers, Limp Bizkit to actual Thanksgiving biscuits. You can tell he's having fun too. Mid-verse he'll change his voice just because he can.
I got my phone like what the fuck you want? I'm doing my fucking fun. You gon' make me fuck you up. He said, Pap, you a fucking bug.
The comedy gets so black at points that it starts to taste like licorice, but Dead Man's Letters is so past the point of black comedy that it's just pure Grim Reaper coat shade black, and the licorice doesn't taste like licorice anymore. In fact, the licorice has been replaced with a roadkill possum frying against the tar road. This song is genuinely scary, and the paranoia is now at the foreground as Papi gets dangerously high and stumbles into his bathroom, and then finds his own body beaten and bloody in the tub. The sense of senselessness, violence and dissociation was always there, but the shock on this track is how much of a leap that it makes to the front of your psyche once the album decides it wants to be a bit more grim for a moment. But thankfully it's not tonally jarring. It wouldn't be like naming 5 siblings James, John, Jack, Jim and Bartholomew. The fever dream absurdity stays on, and Papi's recollection of the event is bolt loosened and abstract enough to feel like it's still an RX yarn at its core. I'm not gonna pretend that listening to this front to back feels any different than if you did back to front. In fact, I think even calling it an album is barely held together by the power of belief and Papi's electric presence, though to his credit, he's a thrilling narrator for his delirious world, where muscles are perk relaxed, and his Glock shapeshifts into whoever fits the word gap for that Mad Libs exercise.